Pirates are evil, the Navy is just. But that's only true because history tells us so. Children who've never known peace have different values than children who've never known war. The one who wins will rewrite the definition of right and wrong. They'll decide the future and how the past is written. Will justice prevail? Why, there's no other way! The winner will define the meaning of justice!
Do you want a sword, Thorfinn? A sword is a tool meant to kill. Why do you need it? Whose life do you intend to take?
Enemies.
Your enemies? Who are they?
Well, bad guys like Halfdan.
Listen to me, my son. You don't have enemies. The truth is that nobody has them. Nobody in this entire world deserves to get hurt.
Tell me, why endure Drott's blows rather than fighting back? If you defeated him, your victory would be more than enough to prove you had the mettle to serve in the King's Guard.
Why ask such a ridiculous question? Beating a man into submission is no way to start a peace negotiation. Today's the first I've met any of you. We know nothing about one another. I have no quarrels with anyone here, and I'm not who you came to fight. So what reason could we have to hit each other? It's absurd. We're only here because of a dispute between Canute and Kettle. The two of them could settle it with a game of Nevertoffel, and it would mean as much as this war. But they both raised armies instead, and sent them out here to spill each other's blood. We just met, and we've hardly even spoken. I don't have one enemy among these men. I have no enemies at all.
There's no point standing around. We'll only be showered by more boulders. Ready your horses on the double!
Be honest. Are all of us riding to our deaths?
Yes, we are.
And since we're dying anyway, you're saying that it's better if we at least die fighting?
I am.
But wait, if we'll die anyway, then who cares what we do? We could just disobey your orders, and it wouldn't mean a thing, would it?
Yes, you're precisely right. Everything that you thought had meaning, every hope, dream, or moment of happiness, none of it matters as you lie bleeding out on the battlefield. None of it changes what a speeding rock does to a body. We all die. But does that mean our lives are meaningless? Does that mean that there was no point in our being born? Would you say that of our slain comrades? What about their lives? Were they meaningless? They were not! Their memory serves as an example to us all! The courageous fallen, the anguished fallen, their lives have meaning because we, the living, refuse to forget them! And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us! Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
If I may be permitted to give my opinion once more. Generals Zetor and Rudersdorf are logical pragmatists, highly skilled in political and military matters, no doubt about that. They make for great soldiers. In fact, the same could be said for you as well. Our strategic HQ is truly a bastion of logic, a fortress of knowledge. You could even call it a think tank. It's because of this that you've all come to believe the war is at its end, because it's the only rational conclusion given the circumstances. But, you see, that sort of thinking ignores one critical component of war.
And that would be what? Indulge me.
Our chief strategists are far too rational. In a way, it makes them blind to the real world. And thus, they've completely overlooked something crucial. Rationalism and pragmatism are not the only things that drive human actions. At our cores, we are all still foolish creatures.
You're suggesting that humans are merely beasts? That we're still slaves to our baser instincts without care for logic?
I hate to be the one who has to tell you this, Lieutenant Colonel, but what you just said is exactly right.
Preposterous. What evidence do you have?
Knowledge of history. Though I guess I really mean my own history. My own personal experiences and memories.
Explain how you know, then.
I have seen hatred personified. It burned in the eyes of a man promising retribution no matter what the cost. I have seen the moment when a talented soldier lost all reason and gave himself over to anger. I have witnessed countless acts of vengeance. They were driven by fury. And so I've realized something during this war. No, perhaps it would be more appropriate to say I remembered something that I'd forgotten. That I have personally experienced the irrationalism of humanity. I know what happens when emotions make someone unreasonable. No matter how much we believe we've modernized, no matter what social constructions we pledge to live by, humans continue to be foolish creatures. We think we're so advanced, but when pushed, we still prioritize emotion over logic. When a human being's overcome with hatred, they'll keep fighting without concern for self-interest or reason, regardless of what they might stand to gain or lose.
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility. Listen. Everywhere you look in this world, wherever there is light, there will always be shadows to be found as well. As long as there is a concept of victors, the vanquished will also exist. The selfish intent of wanting to preserve peace initiates wars, and hatred is born in order to protect love. There are nexuses, causal relationships that cannot be separated.